Before I get started with this commentary, let me give a shout out to my Kim for sending it to me. And this story is coming out of El Paso, Texas, where today we will be talking about a man by the name of Jose Gomez III, who he stabbed an Asian American family at a Sam's Club. Now, before I get into this, I don't remember the AAPI coming out and speaking about this. I don't remember hearing them talk about this because, you know, they have the whole crime bill and everything like that. But we know that crime bill is targeted towards us anyway, to go against us. So we're not new to this. But they were very quiet about this one. So quiet, in fact, that I thought that this recently happened. But this wasn't even recent. This actually happened a couple years ago. But I'm going to go ahead and get into it. A man accused of stabbing members of an Asian American family, including a 6-year-old child, has pleaded guilty to 3 counts of committing a hate crime. So they do have him on some hate crime stuff, but they didn't make a big stink about it. Jose Gomez III, age 21, of Midland, Texas, told investigators he attacked the family inside of a Sam's Club warehouse on March 14, 2020. So this was right around the time when COVID was really starting to kick in. And we had just went into quarantine. We was only a couple days into quarantine. And he did it because he believed they were Chinese and responsible for the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, y'all tell me, what black person have you heard do something like this? Because I can't even begin to point one out. According to a news release from the Department of Justice, Gomez had never seen the family before but followed them in the store for several minutes. Gomez found a serrated steak knife in the store and bent the blade so that the sharp edge faced outward. He approached the family and punched the father in the face, cutting him. Gomez left and returned with an 8-inch knife from the store. He attacked the family's 2 young children, then aged 6 and 2, who were seated in the front basket of the shopping cart. Gomez slashed the face of the 6-year-old child. Prosecutors said the blade entered millimeters from his right eye, split his right ear, and wrapped around the back of his skull. Now keep in mind, he did that to a child. It looks to me like he did more damage to the child than he did to the dad. Gomez also stabbed a Sam's Club employee who intervened. While being held down on the ground, Gomez yelled at the Asian family, "Get out of America." Now, this is a so-called Hispanic, Latino, Mexican, however you want to put it, individual. And based on how he's acting and what he just said, you would have thought this was a straight up and down PC man. And it's funny, he says, "Get out of America." I have a question. Was he born here or did he migrate here? Or is he first generation born? Because to me, it sounds like some hypocrisy coming from him, but I could be wrong. Gomez told investigators he intended to kill the 6-year-old child and stabbed the employee for preventing him from doing it. When they described what he did to the child versus what he did to the dad, yeah, it sounds to me like he was trying to kill the child, but for what reason? Like, you're trying to kill a child. What did the child ever do to you? An Asian family was shopping when the defendant brutally attacked them because of their race and because he blamed them for the COVID-19 pandemic, said Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clark. Why does that name sound so familiar? Kristen Clark. Oh, yeah. She's the one that was on the DOJ that was trying to tell Ahmaud Arbery's family to accept the plea, have them accept the plea deal and not go to trial with the hate crime charges. That same Kristen Clark. And look at her sticking her neck out for the Asian American community, no questions asked. Well, we see which side of the biscuit her butter is, we see what side that she butters her biscuits on. Racially motivated hate crimes targeting the Asian American community on the rise and have no place in our society today. All people deserve to feel safe and secure living in their communities regardless of race, color, or national origin. That's what she said. That's the same Kristen Clark who Wanda Cooper Jones, the mother of Ahmaud Arbery, had to call out after the verdict was read with those federal hate crime charges against the McMichaels and William Roddy Bryan. Now, I bet you Kristen Clark wouldn't have got up there and did what she did with the Asian American community that she did with Wanda Cooper Jones and her family. Gomez faces a life sentence for each offense and a $250,000 fine. Well, I hope that he gets it. I cannot, say that, and that's not me like throwing the cape on for the Asian American community, but at the end of the day, like, you tried to kill a child over something that child had no control over. But I'm glad this story came out. I wish it would have came out sooner though, because like I said, they created a whole anti-Asian hate crime bill to protect the Asian American community, but they had all these people coming out and saying black people were the ones attacking them and we were doing this and we were doing that. All the while, this story was right under their noses, or was it? Or did they know about it and they just didn't want to talk about it? Mind you, this happened back in 2020, March 14th, 2020. We were just a few days into quarantine. At least we were where I'm at. Just a few days. Not even a couple days, because quarantine for where I'm at, it started on March 9th. So, this was just a couple days later. But yeah, they really was quiet about this one. And I have a feeling they're going to be even more quiet. And I bet, like I said, whenever a community who's not black feels like they're being done wrong by anybody, they're going to be quiet about it. But if it's a black person they can insert somewhere in there, they're going to blow it up. If this Jose Gomez III was a black man, they would have definitely blown this up or brought it back up to plead their case to get that anti-Asian hate crime bill passed. This guy said he wanted to kill them or take them out because they were responsible for the pandemic and tried to kill the child. He didn't try to kill the dad. He tried to kill the child. Well, at least he's hopefully going to get the punishment that he deserves at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, the child was completely innocent in all of this. Hell, the family, to be honest, was innocent in all too. This was just him letting his hate flow through him. But like I said, when it comes to the Asian American community, they had all of the smoke for us, but they had none for him. I wonder if they're going to talk about it now. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you are new. Make sure that you hit that bell to be notified every time I upload a new video or go live.